Storm, earth, and fire, heed my call.
What's up everyone, it's Waves, and today, as you know, I have a new M+ commentary for you guys. You've read it in the title, it's a Nokhud 25 today. We played some really clean keys this week, or especially today, so there's gonna be multiple videos over the weekend. I will record them probably today, maybe tomorrow, and then like the next few days there will be a couple of keys that I will upload. But yeah, for right now we have a Nokhud 25. It is a very good key to showcase a very specific thing, and I guess we'll get to it when we get to it. One thing before we start, I have a global tracker now in this key, so I have Trophy GCD installed again, so you guys can see. Let me just start the video right now for a second. Like right here, over my player frame, you will be able to see the abilities that I'm pressing. So yeah, don't get confused when I use my wolves. If there's like a couple icons that you don't know, it's toys, right? It will pretty much always happen whenever I press my wolves keybind. So if you don't recognize an icon and you can't make your mind, can't make up your mind what the icon is, it's a toy or some shit, all right? So yeah, it's also a little bit annoying. My OBS, I don't know why it's recording like that. If I record the video on my main monitor, OBS makes the whole screen like very dark. I don't know why. You may have seen it in like one of the last videos. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but one of the last videos was like pretty dark. So I have my video over here on my second monitor now, which is what I'm recording. So if I'm sometimes looking over there for some reason, just ignore it. All right, we start the key. All right. Obviously I see it in my OBS as well, so hopefully it will be fine if I just look at that. But yeah, either way. So we start the key here. In 25, it's Tyrannical Bursting Grievous, by the way. So that's very fun for the healer. But yeah, we start the key here. We fly to the first boss room. Some people are doing a double pull here in Tyrannical weeks on the first two packs. We decided not to do it. Like the timer in Nokhud is very fine, so we don't really need to do that. My first Lava Dash was really scuffed here, so I didn't really get a good value primordial wave here, which is why I lose a lot of damage in the beginning. But yeah, if like for our group in Nokhud, like the timer is so good we don't have to play for damage. Like all we need to do in a Nokhud to time it in Tyrannical is to play it safe. If we don't die, if we don't if we don't fuck up majorly where we get like an insane time loss, we will be fine. So yeah, pretty much what we do is just try to play it as safe as possible, while also not, just standing around, not doing anything. So in these first packs here, it's very important on Shaman. It's really good to keep an eye on the Lancemaster, or like the big mob in these pulls basically, because they will do a cast sometimes that we want to interrupt. And of course Shaman has the shortest kick CD, also it's a range kick, so it's always good that for example, if you play in a full melee group and you have like, the stomp going off, like the one you can see right now, the war stomp, and then, everyone's walking out, and then maybe there's a cast afterwards, then you have a range kick, you can just kick it. Or, sometimes when you chain one into the next pack, then you have multiple casts. So it can be a little bit sketchy sometimes. So as a shaman, you can make sure that you get the kicks all the time. As you can see here, I kicked as well. Crive dies here, so we don't have a healer right now, which is why I popped AG, just to keep the group topped. It's kind of important right here, because obviously there's damage still coming out from the pack. And yeah, we have to like bridge the time until Crive is back to heal. So I just popped AG here and the group is fine, no Grievous stacks whatsoever. So Crive could get back, and now he's back to heal again. There's also the Rally the Clan is a cast that some of the mobs do. I can't remember exactly what the mob is called that's doing it. But it's something you can't interrupt with normal interrupts, but you can like displace it, you can stun it, you can knock it up, you can sunder it, stuff like that. You want to keep an eye out for that as well, so that you get that stopped. It's more important obviously in fortified weeks, but even in tyrannical weeks I'd rather just stop it. But yeah, we have really good pace here. We basically, what we do is we go into the pack, we cleave everything down, and since the big mob, like the Lancemasters, or whatever they are called, I don't think all of the mobs have the same name, I'm not sure. Maybe the big ones are the same name. I'm not sure. Either way, the Lance Master, the big mob, they have more HP, right? So they die slower than the other mobs. And then we just kill the small ones off. And then you can already see here, Ace is just like moving on to the next pack. So we get into the next pull. Meanwhile, we stay behind and just finish off the big mob, basically. And yeah, so therefore, because we just chain, we save travel time and we don't lose damage doing it. So it's pretty good, honestly. It's a good thing that you can do. And yeah, it just overall saves you a lot of time over the course of a key. What's annoying in this dungeon specifically, there's a couple of other dungeons as well, but specifically in this one, like in the first boss room, or like the area of the first boss basically, placing your Wind Fury totem, sometimes it just randomly gets killed by, I think it's a rain of arrows that does it. But yeah, you will have to replace your Wind Fury totem quite often, which is a little bit annoying, but I mean, I guess it is what it is, right? So yeah, just gotta keep an eye out. If you don't have a good weak aura to see if your totem is still down, maybe you should get one, cause yeah, it gets killed quite a bit in those packs. So yeah, pretty much just something you wanna look out for. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I mean, for you personally, there's not that much to do here, other than, you know, do as much damage as you can. Keep an eye on the interrupt on the Lance Master. Don't get stomped. And keep an eye open for Rally the Clan, so you can like Thunderstorm that, or Sunder it, or Capstun it, or whatever, right? Chances are your group has enough stops for it anyway, so yeah, it's not only you paying attention to it, obviously, or it shouldn't be at least. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Pretty much we cleared all the trash we needed before first boss, and we have 35 minutes left. Like, our timer is really good here. We just, I don't know, like, we have a really good timer. I think we just played the packs very efficiently. My damage, you will notice this in like the next couple of keys that I upload as well. My damage is not that great. And part of that is because I literally still don't have a 421 weapon. Like, we're one of the, like, I raid in a top 30 world guild, right? Like, we've cleared the raid for a long time. And we re-clear. I haven't seen a Kurok weapon drop once. I haven't had a 421 weapon in my vault either. Like, I don't know what it is with my main shaman, that it's just so cursed. But yeah, for some reason I just can't get a weapon. So yeah, also because I kind of trolled with my sparks a little bit, just a little bit. You know, I have one crafted weapon, which is 418. But then I crafted some, I don't even remember what I crafted, but I crafted some shit for PvP, I crafted some shit for PvE. Either way, I don't have a second crafted weapon. So I'm literally like playing these keys with a 418 main hand and a 415 offhand. Like, I don't know, it's just bad. Either way, we kill this ad here. If you know that an ad is gonna spawn, you kind of want to hold Primordial Wave for it, obviously. Like, you don't want to just single target send Primordial Wave on this boss. That's something you definitely want to look out for. By the way, there you just saw it. It's like the firework and a Dark Moon like breath toy, whatever, that you see before my wolf. So don't get distracted by it. It's just a toy, or two toys rather. So yeah, I did notice as well. Actually, I'm not sure if it was in this key. I think it was in a different key that will be uploaded over the weekend. That sometimes I miss opportunities to get like good puzzle box windows, basically, where I hold the trinket too long is something that I noticed definitely, because obviously you don't want to waste it. You don't just want to bang it on cooldown. You kind of want to have it for like good situations with all of your cooldowns stacked and stuff like that. But sometimes I swear sometimes I just miss the point and just hold the trinket for too long. So that is definitely something that I want to look out for and try to improve on. But yeah, not that it like breaks the key. In most cases, I mean, in very tight keys, it could, right? I mean, me not doing enough damage could mean that the pack doesn't die quick enough, that someone dies, that we lose time. You know, like, it could spiral out of control. So just, you know, gotta find those tiny mistakes and try to like improve from them. It's always a good idea, by the way. I don't know if you guys do this. Probably most of you don't. But if you really want to improve how you play the game, it's always a good idea as like a first step to start recording what you do and then watch the recording back. Because watching what you do from like a third person POV kinda even though obviously it's kind of the same thing when you play, but like, you know, taking yourself out of the playing position and just literally watching what you're doing, it will show you a lot of stuff that you're doing wrong. So that's like, in my opinion, a great step into improving your gameplay. Because I mean, I'm playing these keys, I'm noticing all kinds of mistakes, right? And most of the time in these commentaries, like when I notice a mistake that, for example, I didn't notice while playing these keys, and then I'm watching them back in the commentary, I will, you know, like mention what I did wrong and think about ways that I can improve. Because at the end of the day, it's all about getting better, right? Like it's all about like figuring out what you do wrong and how you can do it better, basically. So yeah, we cleared the first boss. Our timer is still insanely good here. And we get to the waterfall pack. We don't have lust for this. In fortified weeks you would want to lust this, but not really in tyrannical. So yeah, we have kicks assigned here. Obviously I'm playing with my pre-made again. We have kicks assigned here on green and yellow mark. We're in voice comms for these keys, of course, so we can always call kicks and call defensives and call whatever. So yeah, that definitely helps a lot. These packs are a little bit sketchy, but honestly, as an enhance, you have so many tools to help here. Like you have the shortest CD range kick. You have cap totem. You have thunderstorm. You have sundering. Like you have AG for off healing. You have healing surges for off healing. You have healing stream for off healing. Like there is so many things that you can do in keys, specifically in like packs like this that, you know, need a lot of crowd control, need a lot of like healing, damage. You know, you can do it. You can do it all. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. Which, in my opinion, makes Enhance feel so good. Is that pretty much you have an answer for most things, right? Even though we don't have every utility that you can have in the game, we have a lot of utility, and that's like one thing that makes the spec so great to play, in my opinion, is that you don't just sit down and play your damage rotation. I mean, even though rotation isn't really a thing anymore nowadays, but like your priorities correct, you know? Like you literally, like, you have to react to certain situations more so than other people, or like other specs, basically. And I like that a lot, honestly. I think that adds more to the gameplay. It makes you have to, like, you have to be more aware of things going on, because you have more ways to deal with stuff than other specs do. At least a lot of other specs, right? Like some other specs obviously have a lot of utility as well, but you get what I'm saying. So you have to like pay attention to more things than just, oh, how do I do the most damage in this pack, basically. So yeah, we played a patrol now here. It's really good if you have purchase enhance here, because our setup doesn't have purge other than me. And Blood Elf ratios, obviously. So yeah, I gotta make sure that I always purge the Storm Shields here. And yeah, these are, honestly, like, these packs are really good for Enhance, because nothing like exceeds like 6 targets. So it's pretty good for us, because obviously you guys know that we are still capped on 6 targets. So we gotta make sure that, yeah, that we play packs that only have 6 targets. Of course, we can go more. It's not the end of the world. Like, we have a Feral, we have an Arms Warrior. They can just cleave for days. Actually, I don't think that our Warrior is playing, like, Bladestorm in tyrannical weeks. Oh, never mind. He just started Bladestorming. Oh, that might... No. That's the proc one from Avatar. I don't know everything about Warrior. It's fine. I'm an Enhanced Shaman. I know my stuff about my spec. But either way, yeah, you can see it's just 4 targets, and you can see I'm doing 200k DPS, because... it's just, those are the packs where Enhance feels great, right? It's the packs where you have, like, I don't know, like 4 to 6 targets. It feels really good. Primordial Wave is fucking insane. You have your, like, personal Bloodlust every time. And, I don't know, it just feels great. So, yeah, we are about to reach one of the hardest points. If not, I would say it's the hardest point in a tyrannical Nokhud, is the second boss, the Raging Tempest. I know on the right side in the Mythic Plus thingy it's listed as the first boss, but I mean who is doing Raging Tempest first? Like, no one. So yeah, it's for me it's the second boss. It's the most difficult part of the dungeon, and we noticed, and you will see why I'm saying this in a couple of minutes. We noticed that we can probably easily do 26 if we can kill the second boss. I think 26 is actually not that unbeatable for our team. if we get second boss done. Like, it's literally second boss. Like, we had a 26 before this, and we simply depleted it because we were really bad at, like, at our strategy for the orbs on second boss. Basically saying we didn't have a strategy. So, like, we didn't collect the orbs properly. We didn't spread our stacks properly. So sometimes one person would drop stacks, which meant that they had 0, so they had to get 10 again. But then other people were extending theirs and stealing from the first one. And then, you know, like the whole thing is just spiraling, because we need as many stacks as we can have on as many people as we can have. So yeah, if we manage orbs correctly, we could have actually killed this in 26. And then I feel like from this point onwards, like after you kill this, I don't think there's that much that's really, really difficult in a 26. Or like, you know, in the key in general. Whatever key level that may be for you in a tyrannical week. Sure, you can theoretically deplete on a 3rd and 4th boss, but it's easier than this, basically. So yeah, we play the boss now, though, on 25. We have 26 minutes left, which is pretty good. Yeah, we clear here. Jelly dies, unfortunately, so we have to play the first storm without our warrior, which is not great, but I mean, it's manageable, right? We just res him up afterwards, and we get another lightning strike here. I'm playing Spirit Wolf, by the way, in this key, which is really important, because in high tyrannical keys, you need Spirit Wolf. Like, it's so much value, it's actually insane. And then this... Okay, guys, sorry, I have to stop the video for a second. This is such bullshit, I swear. Look at this. Of course, you want to take orbs really late, so that you can, on the overlap, like, take orbs. Like, you can see I'm standing in an orb. I have 7 stacks, 0 seconds left. I mean, I know it's about to run out, but, like, I'm standing on the orb. And the game literally waits until it disappears, and then it lets me pick up the new ones. Like, it's... I don't know, bro. It's just annoying sometimes if you miss it by, like, a little bit, because at the end of the day, it's like your misplay, because you picked up the orbs before that. You just picked them up a little bit too early, so you couldn't extend. And that's like the thing. You have to min-max this, because losing those stacks there, it's such a big damage loss, and that just can cost you the key at the end of the day. So, yeah. We need to, like, figure something out, how to, like, properly play these orbs. Maybe look at better teams, like, playing the game, how they do the orbs, because that is, like, the one major point where I think we're gonna deplete our 26 Nokhud if we don't find a way to, like, play these orbs properly. So yeah, we continue though. Boss is at like 60%. We have a very unfortunate moment here where we don't clear the thundering, cause you can see what my intention here was, right? Like I think it's quite visible to see that I see Crive here. I'm thinking about clearing with him. Then I see Ace and him just like, oh sorry, wait, I'm showing it on the wrong screen. Like you can see Crive here and you can see Ace here, and they are moving towards each other, right? Like right now, they are moving very close. So I thought, okay, I don't need to go there and clear. And then they just move away from each other again. So yeah, we didn't clear Thundering, so that is not great, because now we take a lot of damage, and it's actually so much damage that we die. After the boss is at like, I don't know, 55% or some shit. We wipe, which is not exactly great, because we lost a Bloodlust now, and we lost like 3 minutes of the key, I would say. Not great, but, and this is like the main point I want to get across with this key, guys. Even if you play high keys, okay, don't just fucking leave. All right, like I'm expecting you guys pug, right? But even if you don't pug, even if you have a pre-made, like obviously you don't want to sit around and play a key that's already like depleted, right? But if you see you could theoretically still time it, fucking hang in there, right? Like do what you can. Like we still have 23 minutes on Nokhud on second boss. That's fine, right? Like we even lost an entire Bloodlust. We just go again, right? So this time we try to do it a little bit differently with the orbs. We have different positioning now. We just try to play it differently, basically. So, of course, I'm gonna shift into Ghost Wolf here for the end of the Lightning Strike. Very important. If you're the only purge in the group, make sure that you purge the boss, by the way. I think there's like one moment in the fight where I actually forgot to purge it, which is kind of scary. Just always make sure that you get the purges, if you're the only one that can do it. So first storm for me here is always Astro Shift and AG. It may be different for you depending on what your group has, what your group needs. If they have a lot of healing on first one, maybe you don't need to AG it. Whatever, right? Depending on key level, depending on your group, depending on the setup, you need to switch things around, right? All I'm saying is that be aware that you have AG in most cases. Be aware that you have Astro Shift. But don't just use everything exactly where I'm using it, right? I'm just saying that my group has assigned me to use my stuff here, so I'm using it here. But you know, you should talk about that with your group or your pug or whatever, or your pre-mate, and then you know, just be aware that those two abilities are very useful here, and you should use them at some point. But yeah, either way, we live the first storm. We get the boss almost down again to 67% here. So it is a little bit slower, obviously. It will take a little bit longer because, well, I mean, we lost our bloodlust. So the boss would have already been dead like a while ago if we didn't wipe, but I guess it is what it is. Purge the boss here, and you can just see how much damage it is if you keep the stacks up, right? Like, look at our warrior. I mean, sure, he's reflecting, right? So a lot of warrior damage in this key, by the way, or in most keys, but especially in this key, is a reflect. So, for example, if you look at the damage meter now, it will look like, oh, Arms Warrior is fucking broken, right? It's not. I mean, it kinda is because it can reflect, okay? So what you can do on this boss is basically the warrior taunts the boss, and I think goes out of melee range, and then presses reflect, because the boss will do a cast on him then, and you can reflect it, and then the tank just taunts back. Again, I'm not a warrior main. There you can see the wind burst, right? Like he jumped out, taunts it, reflects the wind burst, charges back in, and the tank just taunts it. Those are like things that, you know, some of you guys may not know. As I said, I'm not a warrior main, so I can't explain it like 100%, but there's a lot of things you can reflect. Also, like on the trash packs, right? If you look at our kick tracker, right, we also have reflect there. Because like sometimes we don't even want to kick, we just want to let the cats go off if they are on the warrior, so we can get reflect. Like a lot of his damage breakdown is just reflect in this key, which is really good. It's also very, very useful on last boss. Like you do easily a couple million of damage from just reflecting on last boss as a warrior. It's really, really good. But yeah, either way, so second storm we lived as well. Now is the third storm. So I AG again, I wall again. We should be very, very safe here. Nothing to worry about. I'm pretty sure. Cryphas healing. We have AG, we have everything. And now the boss should just die before the fourth storm. And yeah, I think then we're chilling pretty much. Make sure we get the purge here. Shift into Ghost Wolf. Very important. Again, if you have the Spirit Wolf talent, you gotta make sure that the big hitting abilities, you are Ghost Wolfing those. I just got my stacks reset again, by the way, even though I was standing on the orb that spawned. Well, it is what it is, I guess. Luckily, I can just pick all of these orbs now because Jelly doesn't need them next to me because he's still at 10 stacks. So I just grab all of them. We get another, was that a reflect? Yeah, we got a reflect again on the wind burst here. And yeah, now we just finish off the boss. Pretty much nothing else happening anymore. We have all 10 stacks, so like the boss is just melting, like we're doing so much damage. And we just kill it here before anything goes off. And we have 19 minutes left. That is fine in a tyrannical week, I would say. So yeah, we make our way over. The next area of the key, by the way, this whatever you would call that this area, it's terrible. I hate it. I don't know. Like it's not particularly difficult in terms of like, you know, what you have to do. I just don't hate it. I don't know why. It fucking stresses me out, man. Like the walking pattern, like where you have to go, what you have to dodge, what you have to CC. Like this alone. Look at this. All right, look at this. That's fine, right? You have the AoE on the ground, which has like a 1 year cast, so you can just chill, right? But then we pull the birds, and then I have to get my soul, and then the birds cast a frontal in the air, and then it just kills me while the mob is still literally like 20 yards in the air. It's so annoying. But yeah, we get a quick ank. And we get up again. It's fine. Like you just need to use your stops here, which I'm not doing a great job at the moment, cause I'm like trying to coordinate the kicks that we have to do with like Ace and me being on the harvester. Then we need to like cap totem here. We need to thunderstorm usually, which I haven't done yet. I have to get my soul. I have to get my damage out. You know, like it's I don't know, man. I'm just not a big fan of this area of the key. But the longer we are in it, the more comfortable I feel. You know, like when we first get there, first pack, I'm always like, bruh, like, do we have to play this again, man? I don't want to. I'm just stressed. And then the more packs we play, basically, the more like confident I get. But yeah, this is also something. This whole area of the key basically is something that I can definitely improve on and play better, cause I'm definitely not doing as much as I could here, simply by being stressed, maybe unjustified even. Maybe I don't even have to be as stressed, but I guess it is what it is, right? But yeah, we do a pretty sketchy pull. I can't remember if it was this or like a couple of days ago when we played in Nokhud, but we did a pretty sketchy pull. I'm not sure if it was the key that we're watching right now or not, but we will see in a second, I guess. So again, this time Omega taking care of the frontals, not standing in the AoE, obviously. We get a Shatter Soul here. We instantly go get my soul back, cause that is a damage decrease. So if you get your soul shattered, definitely make sure that you get your soul back pretty quickly. So yeah, now we're basically just trying to keep an eye on the harvester so that no cast goes off, cause I'm obviously one of the ones that have to kick him. And then we just cleave down the entire pack as good as we can. Now we move all of the pack down to get the patrol. I think this is like the sketchy moment, cause I again got hit by a frontal that was like up on the hill and I was at the bottom, but it still somehow hit me. This got a little bit messy. Jelly dies here. I need to clear Thundering here, so I clear. I see that my AG is almost up, because it's kind of sketchy, but I think I actually use it late here. Because there's... Actually, am I using it here? Yeah, I used it now on TD, because we got time dilation on the tank, so I just used it here. Maybe even a little bit too early, if I'm being completely honest, but it's fine. It was just a little bit sketchy, because the pack wasn't completely dead, so we chained it into the patrol, because it was in a good spot, just to save time. And yeah, I mean, it paid off. We only had one death, which wasn't great, but I guess it is what it is. We still saved time doing this, I'm pretty sure. And now we just wait for Jelly to come back, and we finish off the pack in the meantime. And yeah, then we will see how we continue here. Jelly's back now, so we can just cleave the pack down for the last few percentages here. And then I'm pretty sure, are we doing it now? Yeah, I think we're going for a lust pull here. This actually, like, we don't want to lust this usually, but I did lust it because I asked in Discord if this is like the one we want to lust. No one really was sure in this particular moment. So yeah, we lusted here, even though we didn't really want to lust it. I mean, this is just melting with Bloodlust. Like, you can see how fast this double pull is dying. Like, these are 2 packs. But I guess it's not fortified, so, well, I guess it's just gone. Like, you can see the damage we're doing, like 300k, 250, 230. And then the pack is just gone, basically, and we still have, like, Bloodlust running. But, yeah, we kind of needed to get Bloodlust here so that we would have it on last boss in the moment that we want it. Because we want to lust the intermission on last boss, obviously. So, yeah, we kind of needed to lust here either way. But yeah. So now we go on to the next hill pack here, which I don't think we pull anything on top of that, so it's just literally a normal hill pack. That shouldn't be too bad, I guess. But yeah, I just looked at my damage meter and I saw our tank at 130k DPS being top, and then our healer with 130k DPS being second. Great, I love it. Actually, it's actually nice to see that our like tank and healer both are doing like a lot of damage. I mean, you know, it helps the key a lot. If your tank and your healer doing a lot of damage while doing their respective jobs, it's really fucking good for your key. So, you know, I'm not complaining. So yeah, that was an easy pack, just without pulling anything else. Now we go to the last hill pack, because if you didn't know that, you need to kill the 4 like soul harvester packs on the hills, basically, and that will allow you to activate the boss fight, right? And yeah, so we still want to do more trash here, because we want to get 100% trash in this area before we go to the last boss. And what we're doing now is that we kill the last hill pack, then our healer goes to activate the boss, because it has like a pretty long RP. And since we don't just want to stand around and wait for the RP to be over, we send the healer to go do it, and then us 4, we will just move to the next pack and start doing that while he's activating the RP. And then once we're done with the trash, we can just go to the boss and instantly pull it without having to wait for it, basically. That is the time save that we're trying to go for here. There's like a couple of things that you can do like that. Like, for example, in Court of Stars, what we do is a lot of people in the beginning play the dogs, right, on the left side when you start the key, and play dogs. We don't do that in the beginning of the key. We play like everything normal until first boss. And then our healer goes and like, you know, activates the door to where you would release if you die, to go through into the courtyard, while the rest of us, like the 3 DPS and the tank, we just then go back while he's doing that and kill the dogs, the double pull there, because you don't necessarily need a healer for it if you get proper interrupts. So yeah, there's like a couple of situations where you can do something like that, where you can, like, you know, not have a healer and it's gonna be fine. So now we play the double pull here, which is, maybe this is what we would originally want to lust, but I'm not 100% sure. I mean, our last timing, we kind of had to lust the other thing, but maybe we should have went to this pack first compared to the other one. Either way, even without lust, we get a lot of kicks, we get a lot of stops, and we just cleave the pack down. It's not the easiest pack to play, but again, it's tyrannical week, so it's kind of like whatever. And yeah. So everything's dead here. We gotta care a little bit for the bursting. We got 3 stacks right now. It's not great, but yeah, we can stabilize a bit. We didn't extend here. Krive gets the group topped. And now we pretty much just go for the boss. Like you can see, we have 100% trash count. So all we have to do is kill 2 bosses. We have 11 minutes left. So that is perfectly fine time-wise for 2 tyrannical bosses. Because that would mean, what, like 5.5 minutes each boss? That is very good timer for 2 tyrannical bosses on 25. This boss, I mean, you know it. I don't have to tell you about this one, but this boss is a fucking nightmare as a melee. It's not that bad as Enhance, because, you know, we have a lot of movement speed. We have some spells that, you know, work on range. Actually, I just noticed if I Ghost Wolf this on a 25 tyrannical, I will live, but it's kind of close. So ideally, I would want to, like, Astral Shift if I have it ready, just to, like, you know, make sure that I don't randomly die to it. But yeah, if you keep your Lashing Flames debuff up on both the targets here, it's pretty good, because your Flame Shock will actually do a lot of damage on this fight, simply because, like, your uptime isn't that high. So yeah, I gotta keep that in mind, that you get the Lashing Flame spread all the time on both targets here. Yeah, other than that, I mean, it's really good that we have an Arms Warrior. I mean, obviously, one of the best cleave specs in the game. It's really, really good to have arms here. Feral also with multi-dotting bleeds. I feel like our setup for being full melee, I think this is like almost as good as it gets for this boss fight. Cause yeah, we all have pretty good damage on 2 targets, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So here we had Zephyr actually, so I didn't need to wall here, because I wasn't Ghost Wolf. We had Zephyr running from the Evoker. I could have just, like, not walled here, but I just wanted to be sure to, you know, to live that. And also, I think I didn't know that he would Zephyr there, so yeah. Either way, it's fine. You still have Earth Alley, though, available as well, because Earth Alley gives you 10% max HP, so if you don't have wall, if you don't have an external from the healer, you can still use your Earth Elemental and, yeah, get a little bit more maximum HP, which is really good. By the way, the talent that makes your Ankh come off cooldown quicker and increases your maximum HP while your Ankh is off CD is really insane. I can definitely recommend using that, simply because it gives you 2 Ankhs in a key, depending on when you die, obviously. But in a lot of cases where you would usually only have 1 Ankh, you get 2 Ankhs in the key. And the max HP that you have once your Ankh is off cooldown is fucking insane. Like, I think for me it's like 35k or some shit. Like, it's really, really good. So, yeah, I can definitely recommend getting that talent. It's really good. Yeah, if you're wondering about talents, by the way, like, I always have the talent, like, copy string link, whatever the fuck it's called, in the video description. So if you're wondering, like, what setup I'm playing, I always have that copied in the video description, so just make sure to check that out. I always have useful links, by the way, in the video description. I feel like a lot of people ask me questions, like, in the comments and stuff like that, where if you look into the video description, you will have the answer, you know? So that's what it's there for, right? To put information there. So just check it out sometimes if you're looking for something. The answer might just be waiting there for you. But yeah, either way, I have Astro Shift again, so I Astro Shift this Gale Arrow. You basically just want to stack that, by the way, with all the melees, so everyone except for the healer stacks in the same position for us. And yeah, we're kind of done with this boss fight already. We're kind of done. I didn't really do that much damage, but again, low item level on weapons, and also I was really scared, so I like sat around in Ghost Wolf, stacking up my damage reduction for a while. Yeah, once I get a better weapon, it will be at least a little bit better, but with me having to Ghost Wolf as a defensive, because, well, Shaman doesn't have anything other than Astro Shift, that you can just use, you know. I have to sit in Ghost Wolf to stack up my damage reduction. That's why you lose a lot of damage, but I guess it is what it is. And now we get to last boss. We have 6 minute 30-ish when we pull, I guess, maybe 6 minute 20. We skipped the big mobs there, by the way. We have a Feral that is a Night Elf, so we can just pull it at the same time as the boss. Then the Feral just shadow melts, and then they reset, and that's it. That's pretty much how it works. You can also do this with a Rogue. So yeah, we reset the mobs. And now we have 6 minutes 20 to play the last boss in a 25 tyrannical Nokhud, which is not that bad, if I'm being completely honest. I thought it would be worse, but yeah, as long as you play the intermission properly, as long as you have cooldowns like offensive, defensive, proper CC, proper kicks, you know, the boss is pretty fine, I would say. So yeah, we still have 2 minutes lust debuff, so we can't do the intermission quite yet. But you will see on the timing like how crucial it was that we used that that Bloodlust before this one, like appropriately. Because you can see now it's 56 seconds left and the boss is at 82%. At 60% it's facing. So yeah, we have like 50 seconds to face it. I mean, we could take longer obviously, but we just can't be quicker basically. Yeah, and then we want to get the face. Also, the Thundering debuff that you can see right now, that we're clearing right now, this is like a major improvement point that you and your pre-mate can also do, by the way, is to not always insta-clear. Like, communicate who's gonna clear with who, and then just try to drag it out as long as you can to get the damage buff and to use that damage buff for as long as you can. That is something that we didn't do in the beginning. We fucked it up a lot of times, but now I feel like we're starting to improve a lot on that, which is really important if you want to time high keys, because the damage that you gain out of that is just really, really good. And you can see our Bloodlust comes off CD in 3 seconds. 2, 1. Now we're facing it, and now Bloodlust is ready. Isn't that literally fucking perfect timing? It's so good. So I puzzle box here. I have Healing Stream down. I have a new Wind Fury Totem down. I kick the purple mark. We get them all stacked. Pre-wall here because I have aggro, Astro Shift, AG, and then we just get leg sweep into a cap stun, and we have Sundering, we have Thunderstorm, we have all the damage in the world. We just finish off the ads, and now it's 4 minutes and 15 seconds for pretty much 60% of the boss HP. Yeah, we have 2 reses still, and keep in mind, guys, we have 10 deaths with like little deaths here and there, and the full team wipe with a wasted Bloodlust and the time of flying back to second boss in a 25 tyrannical. Like you can see now why I said in the beginning of the key that we're pretty confident we can do this on a 26 if we live the second boss. I think second boss is really like the only big issue that we will have here, because the timer of the dungeon itself is really, really okay. But yeah, so we still have 2 CRs. We just play the boss normally. We try to spread these puddles that we leave behind pretty much like around the room where we play, so we can always bait the charge onto the stone, because on the stone the mob kind of gets stuck, and then you know it doesn't go as far, so you don't lose as much uptime. Our Feral just shadow melts it again, and you can see, by the way, the warrior just taunted here, because you can reflect the conductive strike, which is also really, really good. As I said earlier as well, warrior easily gets like a couple million reflect damage here. In this one, that was actually my bad. If I Ghost Wolfed before, like I dropped to 3%, and then I wasn't fast enough to get out of the puddle, so it ticked me down and I died. I could have health potted. I could have just wolfed before so I get the damage reduction. I could have done a lot of things there to live. I didn't. I could have used Earth Alley like long ago. I don't know. I just didn't. So yeah, that's just my bad. Luckily we had CRs there. I think even without CRing me there, if they had to 4-man the rest of the boss, we would have still been fine time-wise. Like, you can see. Just to emphasize that again, we had a full team wipe on second boss. We literally wasted our bloodlust, everything, and we're killing this boss here. Like, the boss is at 7%, 8%. Now it's at 6%. Like, you can see a reflect, how much damage it's doing. The warrior is doing 77k DPS because of reflect. Because you not only reflect and then it does damage, like the reflect took off 2% of his damage flat, and then it reflects the dot as well. So it keeps, like, you know, damaging the boss, which is fucking insane. But yeah, 107k, whereas the Feral and the Warrior did 120k. I think that's okay. I could do way more if I was a little bit more confident in Nokhud. If we played the second boss cleaner, and if I had 421 weapons. So I don't think it was terrible. I think I learned a lot from this key to, like, you know, improve for the future for when we play 26 or another 25 or whatever. But yeah, either way, I hope this was helpful for some of you in some way. If you have any questions or feedback or whatever, you know, type it in the comments. I would appreciate that. If you wanna see me play keys live, twitch.tv/waveswow. I say it every video. So, you know, if you wanna catch me live, just tune into the stream. And if not, then, well, you just wait for the next commentary, which will appear on my YouTube channel. And with that being said, guys, that was the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, stay healthy. I will see you guys in the next one. And with that being said, my friends, peace.